Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. It's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Coming up, Jack Nierad coming this way for a road trip from California.
Hello.
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 Hello. Later, a look at the stories making headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zeek, I'm Don Armstrong, along with Jack Nierad, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, look at that background, Jack.
Woo-hoo.
What in
Check it
the
out,
busy?
He's got a whole new setup.
Are those all books you wrote?
Yeah, every one of them. I can say I carried them all.
You carried them all. You didn't
I
move,
haven't
did
written
you?
them, but I put them up on the shelf.
Did you guys move?
No.
Is this
just
the
kinda-
same room that you've been coming to us from before?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Oh,
I kind of changed it up a little.
so you
Hope
he's
you
got
like it.
so clearly he's got multiple studios.
He has a palatial estate.
And,
Yes.
he now has a
Yeah,
banner,
yeah, right.
America on the Road.
Yeah.
I love that, Jack.
I
We-
do like that.
Yeah, we like it a lot. So, hey, it's good to see you. How have you been?
I've been terrific, actually.
Well, that's
In fact, I'm headed toward Texas. I'm really excited about it.
yes.
So 4th
and-
of July
but you-
weekend, going to head to Dallas-Fort Worth area to Cedar Creek Lake, and we're going to spend a week there. So,
Bring
Perfect.
a swamp cooler
Perfect.
because it's hot.
Yeah, it's
I know.
it's going to be really hot. And matter
Yeah.
of fact, there's jokes floating around because so many Californians have moved to the Austin area, and somebody's been joking around on the internet, going, "Yeah, well now that they're here in Austin, we've found a way to get them out of Texas, and that's give them a summer, one summer here in Texas in the Hill Country, and they'll be back to California in no time." We don't.
Right. I figure I pay a weather tax living in California.
you every
Big weather
kind of tax you pay out there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are you planning on moving here finally?
We talk about it. We really do. I mean, there's a lot to like about Texas. We've loved Texas. Two of our girls went to college in Texas, and they love it, and they are living there. So, there's a lot to like about
So
that
we
state,
we did a remote broadcast 2 weeks ago at a place called Granbury, Texas.
sure. Been there.
Yeah, have you? So
You
you've
need to
been
be
there.
there.
I had there. I was there for the Texas Truck Rodeo, I think, probably decades ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Well, I will.
Yeah.
I will tell you that is,
What a great little bedroom community it is for the Fort Worth area.
and especially when you get to be our age, we try to move away from all the heavy traffic and all of that sort of stuff. And the nice thing about Granbury is it's close enough to Fort Worth that if you want to go see the Fort Worth Symphony, it's only a little drive up there.
Yeah.
Not bad at all to
No.
get to. But at any rate,
Yeah.
just
Well,
thought
that's
I'd
a big
offer that up.
consideration for me. Where is the nearest symphony?
Yeah.
Well, there's one here. There's one here in Houston, and I know that you're a big ballet and symphony kind of guy.
Yeah, mostly ballet. See, symphony not so much.
I
but
got you.
ballet.
All right, and your
Guys
symphony.
in tights. That's what I like.
That's right.
Then
Well,
like
you are from
tight tights.
California.
Yeah, that's right.
You'll love Conrad.
Yeah.
So, Jack, how are things out in California? I keep hearing very ugly things about San Francisco, and I know that you were not there, but apparently,
Well, there's ugly things in the Southern California area too, in terms of homelessness, and that's heartrending, of course, to see. And at the same time, it's also heartrending for the people who aren't homeless, who have to deal with the situations where people are, living in the street, and it's unsanitary, and there's a lot of crime, a lot of drug use. It's kind of scary.
well, and I don't think that it's unlike too many other major cities
Yeah.
around the world. It's just at a more pronounced rate, and I think it's
Austin has its fair share of it
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
It's
and I've
surprising.
seen that. The problem is we've spent millions, close to billions, I think, in this state, and we just have more homeless. I mean, maybe I don't think that was the goal of this, massive spending. But the program that they put in place has just been a failure because it doesn't really address the root causes, and the root causes are, probably drug use and mental illness much more so than anything else.
Agreed. Well, how are things? How are things in the car world? Jack is fortunate because Jack gets to go places and gets the latest invites to all of the reveals in the car industry. What have you been to lately, Jack?
Well, the latest reveal actually was in Austin, Texas. You're just talking about Austin, and I jetted down to Austin to see the two Twin Lexus reveals. They unveiled the all-new GX, which is cool. I think they've done a nice job styling that vehicle, and it's now decidedly an off-road vehicle, and I think it's styled that way, so I think it's going to be a big winner.
Now, isn't the GX taken from an older Japanese version of an off-road vehicle?
It is, and it always has been, but it hasn't been styled that way, and I think a lot of people who bought it have no conception of the off-road capabilities that vehicle has always had. But now they're making it pretty plain, and I think that's probably a good move. And at the same time, they've introduced a different vehicle, another three-row vehicle called the TX that fills what I think is a big hole in the Lexus lineup, and that is kind of a more on-road oriented family-type three-row vehicle, large three-row vehicle. I think you were just talking about the Chevy Tahoe. It's essentially a Tahoe competitor.
I see. Wow. And where does it fit in the lineup of Lexus?
Well, it fits above the RX, and probably you would say, below the LX. I forget what the number of that LX is these days, but the LX. So it's in that that space, and
sure.
it's more on-road oriented. It's based on the Grand Highlander. It's going to be built in Indiana. It's interesting that it's a Lexus vehicle that's going to be built in the United States, built in Indiana. On the same line as the Grand Highlander. I think it's going to be terrific. I think it's going to be
because all of the Lexus I thought were built in Japan.
Yeah, typically up till now.
So this will be a new thing. Okay, so what else have you run across?
Well, I was just talking to the folks from Karma. Do you remember Karma?
Yes.
Do you remember that car?
I thought they went out of business.
Well, they went out of business a couple of times. They now have more money behind them. And I'm excited about what they're liable to launch here. I'm told by their people that they've got a real cool supercar, ready to go. Wow. And I think we're going to see that in the fall. So I'm excited about that.
Another pure EV, because I think that's what Karma's kind of known for, is just pure EVs.
Yeah. Any gasoline models that stand out that you've driven lately?
Geez, let's talk about that a little bit. Although I've been driving a lot of electrics, actually. I drove the Mustang Mach-E and the Nissan Leaf back-to-back in the last couple of weeks. I'm currently driving an Infiniti GX80, another large three-row, essentially a competitor to the TX that's going to come out. And I'm impressed with that vehicle. I think they've done a nice job with it. It's kind of a sleeper in the luxury segment there, the Infiniti G80.
Yeah, and a good-looking car. I like the style they have on that car. The front end and the rear end treatment's really nice.
Yeah, well, when I'm driving that thing and I'm looking down on full-size pickup trucks, I think, oh, wow, this is kind of a serious vehicle. But
that's
it's
a cool
essentially
look.
what it's based on, right?
Yeah.
So, makes sense.
Do you get lots of waves and thumbs up and people slowing down to take a look at it?
I've had that. Yeah, I think a lot of people like the looks of it. And, it's one of those things where you see a different shape, right? And you go, well, what is that? And then people kind of swarm around, try to figure out exactly, what that model is.
Yeah.
Well, that says a lot in the car culture of California that it creates that kind of buzz.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of electrics, Jack, a couple of things. One is, are you seeing more charging places around town?
I would not say it's obvious. And I think that's one of the big problems with charging stations. I mean, gasoline stations kind of advertise the fact that they're there and they're in very convenient locations. With charging stations, they could be anywhere, behind the back of a warehouse store or, near a hotel or something like that. It's just hard to figure out. I mean, it's a whole different business model. And, I don't know that it's a particularly good business model because most of them are unattended. And I've heard many stories, you probably run into this too, where you go to a charging station and the charging station you want to use is inoperable. Maybe it's the only a DC fast charger in the array there and it's not working. And then if you were to call the company that owns it, they would go, we had no idea it wasn't working, right? And it might not have been working for days. And a lot of times that's the case. So, I mean, that's a real struggle for people who really rely on that. If you're doing a long distance trip in an electric vehicle, even with a fairly large amount of range, say 300 miles of range, you're going to want to know where you can charge and find that to be pretty reliable. And I don't think people have seen that.
Yeah, and assume that all of them work. In that regard, let's talk about the Tesla charging port. And it seems as though that everybody finally is going to decide that Tesla charging port is the way to go. What do you think about that?
Well, I think they're doing it because in the IRA, or I think it was associated with the IRA, Tesla's essentially been persuaded, bribed, depending on how you look at it, to open up some of its superchargers to non-Tesla owners. If I were a Tesla owner, I'd be kind of upset about that, but that's a different story. And so then to make that work, you have to use that kind of charging port. So, it's kind of the Betamax VHS thing that we saw, 40 years ago, those kind of things where there's incompatibilities of very similar kind of technology.
But don't you think it's because Tesla has got so far ahead of everybody else about building out their infrastructure? I mean,
well, I think
the government can't even
that's
keep
true.
up.
And there's so many Teslas out there. I mean, when you look at the number of electric vehicles in service now, they're mostly Teslas. I mean, it's dominant by a huge margin. You see a bunch of other models coming into the market, but in terms of vehicles in service, I mean, it's mostly Tesla Model 3.
Yep, that's true.
Have you ever driven one?
I have. And, it's interesting to drive. I think electrics have their own idiosyncrasies about them and their own pleasures and their own, lack of pleasure is some of it. There's something kind of appliance-like about it, like driving a dryer or a washing machine.
Or a microwave.
Yeah, or a Norge.
Yeah.
A Norge.
Yeah, a Norge. Yeah, I remember Norge. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's interesting you should say that, and that everybody seems to be following their lead. The great big huge touch screen in the middle is got
like lemmings over the cliff.
Yeah, and I appreciate the largeness of the screen, but I don't think that the largeness of the screen should actually sell you on the car. To me, it takes up an enormous amount of room. And I've been in a Tesla. I am very impressed by the whole thing. I think it rides great, and obviously the acceleration is unbelievable. And I know somebody that I work with that owns one. He and his wife love the thing. They take it from Houston to San Antonio and back. They have this one place that they stop to charge up, to top off, if you will. They can make it all the way if they're cautious and really keep an eye on the accelerator pedal. But he loves the thing, and he drives it back and forth to work. And I will say that, 20 miles one way to work and 20 miles back to home is not much for him. But I think that I think it's a thing for a certain group of people, and I think that it is going to be just another coin in the fountain, if you will, of all of these different types of vehicles that are available today.
I agree with you, and I think they work best that way, right? If you have two vehicles in your household fleet, two is not much of a fleet, but if you have a conventional car or even a hybrid, something with essentially unlimited range if you fill it up with gas, and then you use an electric for around town. Like I had a Nissan Leaf with about 200 miles of range recently. That's the higher range Nissan Leaf. And a Leaf is essentially the first mass market brand electric vehicle that came to market. It came to market in 2011, then they totally revised it for 2018. And it was just fine for that kind of purpose. I could go 30 miles and come back and, never worry about it. I charged it overnight using 110 volt electricity, and I'd have, 200 miles of range the next day, and everything was fine. If I wanted to go cross country in that thing, I would be pulling my hair out. But for that kind of use, if you had another vehicle to go long distances or carry more stuff, it would work just fine. The interesting thing, though, that isn't the goal. The goal is to make everything electric. At least the goal from some people is to make everything electric. And that's a no go. I think certainly in my lifetime. I mean, up till 20, we've got vehicles on the road. They'll probably gas vehicles on the road. They'll be on the road 20 years from now. That's a long time out in the future, right? So it's kind of interesting what we're trying to do here. I don't know that it's been well thought out, or that even the individual consumer is thinking about, well, I buy an electric. Yeah, this may contribute to declining greenhouse gases, but talk about a drop in the bucket, a spit in the ocean.
Well, it is. Yeah. So when you say what we're trying to do, let's not quite use we're so much as what you are. Let's say they are. There's a group.
And they are trying to impose upon us. I mean,
exactly.
I like the idea that
what's your pronouns, fellas?
We can decide. We as individuals can decide what we want to buy, how we want to live our lives. What we want to eat, what we want to, what kind of cars and how big we want them to be, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you want a Ford, you want a Chevy, that's
right. To you, yeah. Well, I will tell you that the guy that I work with that has the Tesla, his wife has an older model Mercedes-Benz, I don't know what it is, the SL, the little coupe, and she loves it. It's older. It's been paid for quite a while. And he told me, he says, yeah, she's kind of getting ready to get rid of that. I think we're going to get another gasoline car. Not exactly sure. We really do like the Mercedes-Benz. And I said, well, then that makes sense. So you got a gasoline and an electric.
Right.
So, it gives a little
like
variety.
You were saying,
You got one you can get out of town in, and the other one you can get halfway out of town in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Well,
get out of town, but not get back.
Yeah. Well, let's hope you can get back anyway. So when are you leaving to come to Texas?
We leave on the 30th of June. So, that, it's, I think
next weekend.
6 days from now, something like that, right?
Yeah. Well, we hope that the weather is not going to deter any of your time with your kids and the visit to Texas, because, we kind of brag about the fact that everybody's welcome in Texas, and we want everybody to have a good time here.
Well, we always have a great time. This will be our third year going to Cedar Creek Lake, and we take a lake house, and we're mostly in the water, when it gets hot, and we have a blast. So I love Texas, and love seeing the kids, of course.
Well, and the other thing that you must do if you've never been, you got to stop at Buc-ee's somewhere.
Oh, I've done that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I am.
That's actually a destination.
Huge proponent of everything they do, especially their hot sandwiches. And oh boy,
lots of charging stations too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Well, Jack, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for spending the time with us today. And we hope to catch up with you after your vacation and talk about cars again soon.
Well, I look forward to it. Great to talk to you guys as always. Those books are coming your way. So
fantastic.
Be ready for that. And maybe we can talk about it next time. So
wonderful.
Terrific.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks,
Jack Nierad, and that's America on the Road. All right.
Very cool.
We're kind of wrapping things up here for this edition of the In Real Time Car Talk Show
today. A little quick.
It has, yeah. Cadillac plans to introduce the electric version of its Escalade full-size SUV on August 9th in New York. GM luxury brand on Tuesday confirmed the reveal date and a news release and teaser video for the Escalade IQ.
I wasn't invited.
Which it said will be built at the automaker's Factory Zero electric vehicle assembly plant in Detroit. Automotive News has reported that the Escalade IQ is expected to go on sale in 2024. Cadillac did not share details Tuesday on the production launch. The gasoline-powered Escalade has been Cadillac's top-selling U.S. model for the past 2 years as the brand focused on production of more profitable vehicles during the microchip shortage. Cadillac working to electrify its lineup like everybody else is. And
how heavy do you think that'll be?
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? The Escalade IQ will follow the Lyric midsize electric crossover.
Which they can't produce right now.
Which is on sale now. And the Celestiq or Celestiq. What do you want to call it?
Celestiq.
I don't like Celestiq. That sounds too plastic.
Call it Cadillac.
Okay. Well, there's that. A hand-built $300,000 plus electric sedan that'll start production in December.
Yeah, right.
Here's an interesting thing. The U.S. traffic deaths are down in 2023, even as more miles are driven. The agency, NHTSA, estimated 9,330 people died in vehicle crashes in the first 3 months of the year, down 3.3% from last year.
Because they're obeying the signs.
Well, and the other thing is they're doing that, and the other thing is that they're driving more miles. So I guess that's a good thing.
Well, you got to think too, the technology of today's cars is definitely geared to protect the occupants, automatic braking, lane departure warning and stuff. All of that stuff, I think, has had a real impact on lowering the death rates.
So it's working.
Speaking of which, technology is more prevalent, which creates more opportunities for problems to arise, and issues are cropping up with basic vehicle functions, such as the ease of opening doors. That, according to J.D. Power's 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study, those factors contributed to a record high number of vehicle problems this year, building on quality issues last year that stemmed from supply chain shortages and remote work, according to J.D. Power. On average, owners reported 192 problems per 100 vehicles industry-wide, according to the survey, up from 180 a year earlier, and 162 in 2021. The study, conducted from February through May, published Thursday, based on responses from 93,000 buyers and lessees of new 2023 model year vehicles.
And I think some of that's driven by the complexity of the car. We laugh and giggle about people never read owner's manuals, and they don't. Mm-mm. And today, in a lot of cars, there is no owner's manual. You have to figure out how to get it to display on the screen on the vehicle. And people aren't going to read that either.
And the book is in the computer on the screen.
Right. So, all of that means, hey, how does this work? I'm pissed off. I'm going to give it a bad score.
Yep. New vehicle quality improved at 12 of the 33 brands ranked in the study. Dodge was number one in quality.
Oh, that's surprising.
Followed by Ram, Alfa Romeo, Porsche, Maserati, Jaguar, Subaru, Jeep, Mitsubishi, Audi, Chrysler, and Volvo.
And whose survey is that again?
J.D. Power.
Okay.
They're the king ding of surveys.
Yeah.
I question that.
Dodge was number one.
I question that.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yes.
Yeah, Dodge, followed by Ram. Not that they were flawless by any stretch of the imagination.
But, to outscore Lexus and Mercedes.
Mm-hmm. So here, in descending order, I'll give it to you. Dodge, Ram, Alfa Romeo, Buick, Chevrolet, GMC, Porsche, because Porsche used to be at the top of the list, Cadillac, Kia, Lexus, and this is in descending order now, Genesis, Mini, Nissan, Maserati,
and
Jaguar.
Where's industry average fall in?
Industry average is below BMW and above Mitsubishi.
Okay.
So the number one is Dodge at 140, and average on the study is 192. Problems with vehicles per 100.
Says a lot for the Dodge product.
I know. Well, they've been building the same thing for a long time. You think they'd finally get it right,
Well, you got to think Dodge. What's a Dodge anymore? Charger, Challenger.
Yep, all those are going away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good timing.
Apparently.
We finally got it right. Now it's going to go away.
Lithium producers are growing anxious that delays in mine permitting, staffing shortages, and inflation may hinder their ability to supply enough of the battery metal to meet the world's aggressive electrification timelines.
Duh.
Once a niche metal used primarily in ceramics and pharmaceuticals, lithium is now one of the world's most in-demand metals, given aggressive EV plans from the global auto industry. At stake is the pace with which electric vehicles could displace internal combustion engines, a key goal of the green energy transition. I don't think that that's going to replace it. I think it may become a different component in the overall sales, like we were talking with Jack about.
Mm-hmm.
But at any rate,
it is what it is.
Yeah. Ford planning additional layoffs to its salaried workforce in the coming weeks, according to people with knowledge of the matter. Although the cuts are not expected to be as large as previous rounds, the automaker, which could announce the moves as early as next week, is expected to prune workers from multiple business units, including its Ford Blue combustion vehicle division and its Model E electric vehicle unit, according to sources. Last year, Ford laid off about 3,000 workers around the globe. This year, they slashed more than 1,000 jobs in China and some 3,800 jobs in Europe over the next 3 years. Okay.
Yep.
No big deal unless you're one of them.
Yeah.
In the electric division.
Well, apparently. Yeah, I thought that was interesting that some of the cuts are coming from the electric division. Didn't you find that interesting?
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. Either they had way too many people working in that division, which wouldn't surprise me, or it's just not as profitable as, people think it should be.
And even though that they keep raising the price of the Ford
Lightning.
And if you cut back production, then you've got an overstaff.
Right.
Too many people.
All right, we're back in the studio next weekend. And next weekend is July 4th weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Got any big plans? Am I
Yeah,
invited
just-
over?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
We're
You
not
are
drinking-
now.
I know I invited
You can't say
myself.
no on the air.
No,
I know.
It's
Well,
fine.
you can.
He'd probably
figure
invite
something out.
Leslie too, but he'd
We'll
probably
figure
invite
something
Leslie
out.
first.
Absolutely.
You already did.
And what are you
So
doing
now
next
he's gotta
weekend?
catch
You
up.
going to sit home, pop some firecrackers?
No, I'm not a fireworks guy. Never really have been much of a fireworks guy.
We used to do
I've got idiot neighbors.
we used to do the bottle rockets back in my day,
Mhm.
and we used to take the little 6-ounce Coke bottles,
Yeah.
put them on the ground, put a bottle rocket in it, light it, and psh, away it'd go.
I lived in a neighborhood where there were two fireworks crazies, and they would do bottle rockets, and they would also do those mortars,
Yeah.
and they would do them in these tubes, and eventually the tubes would kind of lean over, and we would fire over two houses to get to them, and they would fire back at us,
How fun.
and that's when we went inside. and
Great
didn't come back
ideas.
out.
Break now. We'll right back with the wrap-up of today's show. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeartRadio. Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Loopy's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Loopy Tortilla. Loopy Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available on the most popular podcast channels out there in 30-minute episodes. We realize our 3-hour live show can be difficult to catch in its entirety, so now you can listen every day to a convenient, fresh 30-minute episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, along with a dozen more. In Wheel Time has the most informative automotive guest interviews and new car reviews, along with popular features including Conrad's Car Clinic and This Week in Auto History, along with automotive news headlines. Our live broadcast airs every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central on InWheelTime.com, the iHeart app, and on YouTube. Be sure to say hello when we're broadcasting from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, Autorama, and the Houston Auto Show, among others. Now, it's easier than ever to hear about all things automotive all week long. You're invited to join fellow car enthusiasts in becoming part of the ever-growing In Wheel Time Car Talk family. Don't forget those 30-minute podcast episodes on your favorite podcast channel. Well, that's a wrap for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. When you're online, follow our Facebook page, give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share our junk if you would, please.
Sure.
We're really depending on you to help us get the word out. Then isn't that what car people really do? Mm-hmm. We promise to keep you posted on all things automotive all week long, including new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing events, and other informative and entertaining car and truck goodies, at least we think it is. You can find the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app and our live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time. Daily 30-minute podcasts available on your podcast channel that you use. The In-Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our Marketing Advertising Advisor and Video Technical Director is We Need More, Jeff Zekin. The Booking Agent and Thumb Twiddler, Mike Mars. Mr. Know-It-All, His Royalty King Conrad DeLong. I'm Don Armstrong. Please join us for our next live In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, July 1st, 2023, on all of our In-Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network, 8 to 11 Central. Have a great weekend. Stay cool. And so long for now. Bye-bye. That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.